All right, good morning and welcome to another session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader, and today is another pre-market analysis session. Okay, so before we get started, we'll run through our risk disclosure. So again, guys, all the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Um, we all understand that the use of this information contained is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Futures trading does contain a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investors' initial investment. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading. Only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that we've gotten the risk disclosure out of the way, okay, we can move on to, hey, good morning, Keith. We can move on to the news portal here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and share our news portal and review what do we have in store that could potentially further impact the markets. Well, we had a good amount of news that has already been reported here. Okay, initial jobless claims, GDP, core PCE, continued jobless claims. Okay, U.S. pending home sales is still on the horizon here at 10 a.m. And then after the market, we have a couple of earnings that I think everybody will be watching, in Intel, Apple, and Visa. All right, so fair amount of news has already been has entered the market here. Okay, we'll see what impact that has had on. And then we have just one final bit of news here coming in at 7 a.m. as well as the European option expirations that will also have maybe a potential impact on the markets. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look now at the charts. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start with the market that we normally start with, and that's gold. Okay, so you can see that gold has been on a rather strong move to the upside. Okay, you can see here on the daily chart that we're breaking some daily levels, and when we break daily levels, um, creates a very much a strong impulsive move. Okay, so we have a gap open. Okay, I don't know if that's a result of rollover or whether that's really significantly interest in upside a move here. Okay, but what I do know is that we are breaking levels above us, right, or to the left. We're breaking structure here to the left here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my levels here for a moment and just kind of digest what we're seeing here. Okay, so you can see that price has managed, at least for now, to break above some very rather important levels. Now, we had drawn in the past this 2800 level. Okay, 2800 level was a very important level, and you can see that price is currently above it. Okay, now looking to the left, is there any price to the left that could cause price to stall here? Okay, well, we're not seeing it. Okay, if I look at the monthly chart here. Okay, again, we're at all-time highs in the gold. Okay, so this could lead into another leg of price action. Okay, now that are beginning to break some structure on the higher time frame, this could be a rather significant move in the gold market. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. So looking at this on the 4-hour perspective, okay, you can see that we have broken. We have created a little bit of gap open up. Okay. Again, we've broken above this 2,800 level that we've kind of identified here on the daily chart. Okay, indicating that there is a fair amount of interest to this move. Okay. If I look at the volume delta here, um, you can see that we are seeing price increase as price continues to move higher. Okay. So there is a fair amount of support in this move. Okay. Good morning, Marcelo. Okay. All right. So let's continue reviewing this on the 30-minute chart. All right. 30-minute chart we have here is going to stretch this out here a little bit. Okay. All right, so you can see that price is above our VWAP. Okay, price I'm assuming has exceeded our average daily range. Okay, go ahead and open that up. Yes, well above it. Okay, we got a break, we got a break, we got a retracement, and we have not looked back since. Okay, if we open up the ASR for London here, okay, we'll go ahead and open up that. Okay, we've what is that for Asia? Let's open this up for London. Okay, here we are, London. We are we've exceeded that as well. Okay. So again, it appears that we are very much in a sustained move to the upside. It's probably not a move that I'm I guess looking to potentially fade here, guys. Since we are breaking daily levels. This feels like it's a much more of a sustained variety here. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, but I can imagine I can't imagine how this would be anything but bullish. Okay. So let's go ahead and open. All right. Our fixed range volume profile, close it off right about there as soon as we have this gap. Okay. And you can see that we are well above value here. Okay. So even to the point where I'm having a difficult time, keeping value area and price on the same screen. Okay. Very, very, very strong move to the upside in gold. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at our levels. Although I'm going to be honest with you, given this kind of move here, that our levels are probably not as important. Okay, because we're breaking every level that has been created here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my anchored VWAP here. Okay, for the start of London. Okay, I'm going to maybe pick this time frame here. And you can see that price is well above our anchored VWAP as well. Okay, as I mentioned, I am going to go ahead and add our levels here, but I also have I know the understanding. I have that price is in the move that the price is making. Okay, so again, we've established some of these levels, but again, we're breaking every one of them to the upside. Okay. So this average session range, and we'll have to wait to adjust this average session range when New York opens. Okay. But we can see that our average daily range has been exceeded. Okay. So right now, the nearest level that could offer us some support here is this average session range high of London here at 28.2170. Okay. So it would be not unreasonable, okay, if we do get a little bit of a pullback, okay, that this area right here would be supportive, okay, right? This would be a logical area for price to kind of maybe meander to, and maybe offer us maybe a secondary opportunity for a continuation move to the upside. So, like I mentioned, this today does not appear to be a day that we should be looking to, necessarily fade this. Although at some point, whether it happens today or tomorrow, there appears to be an opportunity for price to at least come back to anchor VWAP, or even down to our daily VWAP. Okay, so that possibility does still exist. The question is the timing of that. That's the question. Whether that's going to happen today is to be determined. From my perspective, this does appear to be kind of a more of a sustained, move to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. I would say that we should be looking for opportunities here. Let's go ahead and open up initial balance. I think initial balance would be an excellent indicator here, and maybe offer us maybe an opportunity as well on a break. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open the regular daytime day session for this initial balance range. Okay, so you can see here that this is the initial balance range that's is in the process of being established here. Okay, so we have our first 30-minute candle that's developing. Okay, I have an area that I've already identified here as maybe an opportunity. Again, if we do get a break, all right, of this initial balance range, assuming that this is going to be the final range, right? If I get a break of a 30-minute candle, or not 30-minute, but doesn't have to be 30-minute, could be as small as a 15-minute, okay, 15-minute candle to the upside, then and maybe the top of initial balance high could serve as an area for me to take on an execution. Okay, that's going to be what I'm going to be waiting on, right? I'm going to be waiting on for some confirmation here for a 15-minute candle that will exceed initial balance. Okay, this is the second of 30-minute candles. We have two more candles on the way here, and wait for maybe a break and then maybe a retracement back to initial balance high to offer me an opportunity. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm waiting on now. Okay, waiting for this initial balance range to establish and offer me maybe an opportunity here around initial balance high, or maybe a slight retracement below to offer me maybe an opportunity for an execution to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. It does appear that we are in a bit of a sustained move to the upside. We're starting to break some daily levels to the upside. 2800 is the one that of importance that we were kind of tracking. Okay, and then so we'll have to see what opportunities this market provides us going forward. Okay, all right. Moving on to the crude oil market. Okay, crude oil market. Oops. All right, here we are. Okay, so looking at the crude oil market, we're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart again. We can see that the market continues to show weakness. Okay, right. If we remove our drawings here, let's go ahead and do that. All right. So you can see that the market continues to show weakness here. Okay. We have a series of higher highs and lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Lower highs and lower lows. Okay. And we're again breaking kind of similar to what we're seeing in the gold, but in an opposite way, right? As gold is moving up, we're starting to see that maybe crude oil is moving into a sustained auction to the downside. The next logical level, I would say, for maybe price to potentially stall in this market would probably be around 70. Okay. That seems to be kind of the logical area for me for a potential price for potentially to stall. The next stop, I should say. Okay. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, for our chart, again, we're seeing our series of lower lows, lower highs. Okay, in this market, and that continues. Okay, on the 4-hour chart is very obvious. Okay, all right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, we've reached our average daily range low and reacted away from it. We made it back up to VWAP only to find some additional sellers of this market. Okay, so the question for me is, are we going to go ahead and continue? If so, then I would say that the reference level that we can be using here is the highs that were made as we reached our VWAP. Okay, so we have this 72.69, 72.75. This area, as long as price remains below that level, I would say that we have a reasonable chance of price continuing to the downside in the crude oil. Okay, let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. Our fixed range volume profile. We'll go ahead and locate the 9 a.m. candle from Wednesday, drag that across to the close. You can see that price is inside balance. Okay, so even though we are seeing price movement to the downside, in a very much a directional kind of move, it is in an area where price is considered in balance. Okay, so we'll have to kind of wait and see to see if we do manage to break below this 72.33 level, right? This is right at the edge of value area low. Okay, so this area right here could potentially be supportive. Okay, there's certainly that possibility. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and extend that line here. Okay, right about there. Okay, this area could be supportive because we did breach below value area low, and that was met with some buyers. Now we had some confluence here with average daily range low. Okay, and that could potentially offer us maybe an opportunity here. But I would say that we need to get above 72, 76, really, for maybe to begin to embrace maybe a bullish trade that would take us up to maybe 73.48. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Otherwise, the path of least resistance based on the daily and based on the weekly is that we are going to continue to the downside, and that we should be looking for opportunities of strength or perceived strength to potentially fade. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and see. Initial balance is still a bit away from opening here. Let's go ahead and add our levels, our price levels, to this chart, because that does in this particular case offer us some insights. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add that here. There's our levels that we'll be tracking in this market. Okay, so we'll just kind of spot check our value area high here at 73.32. Our value area low we just marked up as 72.31. Okay, we have our 73.48 as our average session range high here. Okay, so we'll have to see. Okay, what this market offers us in the way of opportunities. Okay, I would say that we are probably best served in waiting for this open of the market and waiting for this initial balance range to establish before we take on any sort of execution in this market. But I would say that the general direction of this market remains to the downside. Okay, and we should, I think, remain and look for continued selling pressure in this market. Okay. All right. I would say that maybe the first location, or maybe the next location, I should say, where I might maybe consider something in the way of a bullish trade is probably down here at 71.71, which is the average session range low. Okay, that would be kind of a logical location for price to potentially reverse away from. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing now. Okay, let's go ahead and add our anchor VWAP to this chart. Okay, we'll locate the London. Okay, this is the pivot of London right here. Okay, you can see that London managed to hold this anchor VWAP for a bit, and now it's being challenged. Okay, here with this current candle. Okay, so again, if price does manage to close below, I would say that the path of least resistance is lower. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much what I have for crude oil. Let's take a peek here to see if there's any questions. I'm not seeing them. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move on to the let's see, the NASDAQ. Okay. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ and see what the NASDAQ has in store. So it looks like after this sell-off, looks like we are, picking up some momentum here to the upside. Okay. So we had a nice sell-off to start off here. I think the market here on Wednesday, right? Now, we seem to have come to an area where we found some buyers, okay, and have been up ever since, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily and see what insights that could provide us, okay? We're going to go ahead and remove our average daily session ranges. We're going to close those off for now, okay? And we're going to not look at initial balance here. We'll close that off as well, okay? And we'll leave our VWAP. So we have a supply zone that's been established. We still have a gap down here, okay, as well, right? We still have a gap down that it still has not been filled, okay? So that could pose as an area maybe of some potential resistance in price. We did manage to get to a low only to find some buyers, and now we're inside some candles here. Now, we have really not broken any significant structure on the daily chart, okay, to necessarily support our bullish view. We are still very much inside, okay, which could indicating inside these swings, then that could lead sellers to kind of step back into this market. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into the 4-hour chart and maybe focus in on some of these candles here. Okay. So we're starting to make a little bit of a series of higher highs and higher lows here. Okay. We are developing a bullish engulfing candle here that is looking to get above this daily VWAP, but we are coming in, okay? We are coming into an area where we could maybe find some strong sellers here, okay? In this area here around 22,000, maybe 21,800, okay? This area here is ripe for some sellers, but cannot deny the fact that we are developing a little bit of a structure here that appears to be bullish, okay? Cannot deny that. Now, the question is whether this is more of a retracement, okay, or whether this is more of an impulsive move that we're seeing or witnessing in the NASDAQ, okay? Moving down to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, you can see that price is above our VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and remove our anchor VWAP or adjust it, okay, to the lows of London here, okay, down around let's see, right about here, I guess. Okay, this is not lows, but I guess the highs of London. All right. So you can see that price has exceeded London. All right. We had some bearish price action. Price has now exceeded our London session and is above our daily session. Both indications of maybe some momentum to the upside. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and move this volume profile. See if I can control it and move this over to include and get adjusted for Wednesday here. Okay, so we're going to find the close of Wednesday. Okay, so if we take the combination of Tuesday and Wednesday, you can see that price remains above. We can see that price came down to value area high and reversed away from it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and adjust this to just Wednesday here. Okay, so this is the open of the market right about there. Okay, so again, you can see that we didn't quite get a reaction. Okay, we price buyers stepped into this market before it actually made it 100% down to value area high here. Okay, So we are seeing a little bit of again price action to indicate that maybe there is some more upside in this market. Okay, cannot deny the fact, cannot deny that fact. Okay, now I think an area that's going to be important for me to see. Okay, is that I need to see price make a new high. Okay, make not only make a new high, but close above this, say 21,000 720 level or 700 level here. Okay. Uh, the fact that it can make a new high would give me some further belief that maybe we are in a bullish, some sort of bullish move to the upside. Okay. Otherwise, if we remain under 21,700, then we'll start to develop a little bit of a supply area, and that could potentially lead to price heading lower. Okay, so very important area at the moment, right? Is this going to be an area where we sell off from? Okay, at the highs, or is this going to be an area that holds and that we get price to exceed some structure here to the left? And maybe offer us maybe a bullish opportunity, right? So the idea here is if we get a move like this and then we get a pullback back to whatever level it left, then that would be a logical location for price to continue to move. Okay, we got a similar kind of move here, right? So we had a push outside of this 21,600 level. Okay, we had a push outside. Now we've gotten a pullback, right? Pull back to that same level that it left, and now we're seeing a little bit of price action heading to the upside. But we are kind of in an odd location, I would say, right now. Given that this price action is inside this swing here. Okay, honestly, would like to see, I guess, evidence for more evidence here that price can indeed exceed this level and get inside this supply level that it appears to be developing at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and open up our price levels here and then add that to the charts here. Okay. So here we are. So place our levels here. All right. Okay. So these are our levels that we're tracking in this market. You can see that 22,000 is this bigger red area that I've identified as kind of a supply zone on a higher time frame. Okay. We have our value area high coming in at 21,556 or 557, which just within tolerances there. And then we have a value area low coming in at 21,470. We're going to go ahead and open up our ADR here. Okay, so go ahead and open up ADR. We can locate the ADR level. Okay, so we still have some room to the upside. Okay, 21,750. So that has not been exhausted. And then if we open up London here, if I can locate it. Okay, can't seem to locate it at the moment, so I'll manually add it here. Okay. All right, so let's do away with the background and click OK. All right, and we will modify this to read London for now. All right, and see where London takes us. Well, London takes us well above and strongly into this area of supply here. Okay, so 21,857 is the target that we have for London. All right, from an ASR average session range point of view. Okay, so assuming again, if we do manage to get above 21,700, okay, which is still a question whether that's a possibility or not. If we do make it above there, then it stands to reason that we have maybe a possibility of getting up to as high as 21,857. We do have, again, some fair amount of resistance in this area, though. Okay. All right. See if there's anything else I should be calling out here for the NASDAQ. I think right now it's going to be interesting for me to see how this 30-minute candle closes. And if it does close in its current form, then I would say that maybe we have maybe the beginnings of a continuation move to the downside. Okay. If not, and we start to build up some strength and remain above these VWAPs, well, maybe this could firm up here a little bit and offer us maybe an opportunity to the upside. So it'll be interesting for me to see if price holds above my anchor VWAP and whether it holds above my daily VWAP. Okay. That's going to be of interest to me. And then ultimately, if I'm bullish, I'd like to see price get above 21,700. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the ES. Okay. So we'll look at the ES here. All right. So we'll go ahead and open up the daily. Okay. So what is the daily chart telling us? Well, the daily chart is telling us that we are uh, in some sort of bullish price action. Okay. Um, we are seeing, again, if I were just to look at the most recent candles here, okay, just looking at this candle, we had an upswing. We had a kind of a gap down, which again gives us evidence that maybe there's an opportunity, that maybe further downside opportunity, right? That's kind of what this is telling us, right? We have a little bit of a supply area that's been established here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and mark that in. Okay. So as long as price remains below, say 6,100 or maybe 6,110, okay, maybe as high as 6,150. All right. This area right here could act as an area of resistance to price. Okay. And if it's acting as a resistance to price, then at some point we're going to see an extension or a move to the downside in this market. Okay. If this area continues to show evidence that is unable to, I guess, enter. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. Again, you can see that we had our gap down, we had our swing low, we found some buyers, and that has caused price to kind of rally. Okay. Now it seems like we are retesting this area where the gap was opened. Okay. And now we need to understand whether we are going to get a new high above 6,100 or whether 6,100 is going to serve as an area of resistance, okay, and offer us maybe a continuation move to the downside, okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing in the ES, okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, we are in this, you see that price is above our VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this anchor VWAP to be a little bit closer to the market. I like having my anchor VWAP capture kind of the movement that was made in London. Okay. So that was I guess, the most significant swing that we saw, right? We had London kind of brought the market down. Okay. Now, as we come into pre-market, we're starting to see maybe some buyers kind of stepping into this market here. Again, I would say that 6,100 for me is kind of the line in the sand. All right. All right. 6,100 is kind of my line in the sand to see if maybe we get an opportunity that would lead us to further upside price action. Yeah, this area has shown evidence of down, right? This area here is an area, well, this is basically the gap. Okay. So this is basically the gap. So yes, my view is that this gap is eventually going to get filled. Okay. Right. But yes, it is an area that for now has been resistant. Every attempt, right? Every attempt that we've made to the upside has been met with sellers. Okay. So the question is price going to be able to exceed 6,100? And if it does exceed 6,100, is it going to be able to fill this area? Because there's a fair amount of sellers in this area. But what we have going for it, okay, is that price right now is above VWAP, okay, is above our anchor VWAP, okay, and we're going to go ahead and open up our ADR levels, okay. So you can see here our ADR levels is right at that zone, okay, where I expect the beginning or the end of the gap down, okay? All right. So in any case, the idea here is um the question now becomes is are we going to continue to see, okay, and based on volume delta, the volume delta bars have all been positive for this move here, okay? So yeah, I think it's more than reasonable that we could potentially head up to 6120 or higher, okay, before we see any significant reversal in price. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our ASR, and lo and behold, look what our ASR as low as 61.25 ASR, and then we have 61.31, okay, on the upside. Okay, so yeah, not unreasonable to potentially witness price maybe making its way up to 61.25. Okay, conservatively 61.20. This is kind of this 10% dash line that I talk about, okay, before we see any sort of significant move, maybe to the downside in this market, okay? So that's kind of what I'm seeing. We're still about 17 minutes or so from the open of the markets. I'm going to see how well this candle here, whether this continues to hold above VWAP, okay, whether it's able to break some structure to the outside, meaning that get a close above, and then ultimately, how well does price get above 6,100? Because I think 6,100 is kind of our line in the sand to start to get, I guess, continue to build some structure for maybe some additional upside opportunity. Okay. Um, we do have areas above us that could offer areas for sellers to step back into this market. Okay, so interesting areas, interesting levels that to analyze and continue to monitor as we approach the open of the New York session today. Okay, so that's kind of what. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, add our levels here. All right. These are the levels that I'm tracking in this market. So I have the 6150 level as our area of supply for our supply. We're gonna go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile for the start of New York all the way to the close of New York. Okay, you can see that price managed to get inside value, okay, but did not accept it, right? We got rejected, okay? So again, another indication of maybe some bullish behavior here, right? If price were accepting lower prices, then we would probably have accelerated through value here, but we didn't. On the contrary, it's been rejected. We rejected it, and now we'll have to see if price is able to come back to inside value. Okay, so this area right around here at 60.8350 is another important area for me to monitor. Okay, are we going to get price to close back inside? At which point maybe we get a full rotation of value, or is this going to be an area where we could maybe take on an execution to the upside for an opportunity to take us back up to 6120? Okay. Those are kind of the two scenarios that I'm looking at the moment. Okay. So, and value area high is kind of serving as my reference level to identify that to some degree. Okay. All right. Let's close out this session with a review of the Dow. Okay. So we'll take a look at the Dow here. You can see that the Dow appears, again, sold off away from this area. Okay, you can see Dow has kind of is leading the charge here a little bit. Okay, we came into these same areas that we're talking about today, right? In the Nasdaq and ES. Well, we came to those levels in similar levels in the Dow, and we've sold away from them. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and take a peek here at the daily. Okay. Daily has kind of also reacted away from these highs at 45,000. All right. For our chart, we got a pretty strong, and I get this is probably a result of the news here that we received here at 8:30 Eastern. Okay, but nonetheless, it developed a very strong bearish candle here. Okay, and that seems to be aligned. Now the question is are we going to see an extension of this? Okay, are we going to follow with the subsequent candles, or is this just like a one shot exhaustive, kind of wipe out some buyers and then turn the market around? We'll have to see. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, okay, we've gotten below, all right, we've gotten below our ASR, okay, here, right? We got price that exceeded it, and now we're kind of reacting away from it, okay? So again, that speaks to evidence of maybe some further downside, okay, opportunities, okay, in this market. We have price below our VWAP, okay? We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile to Wednesday here. Okay, there it is. We'll drag that across. There, okay, you can see that price is below value. Okay, another indication that maybe we will see some further downside price action in this market. Okay, I don't have any levels here per se in this market, but I'll just capture a few of them. Okay, so we have 45,721 is our average session range high, average session range high. Okay. All right, and then we have our average daily range high coming in a little bit slightly lower at 146. Okay, is our average daily range high. Okay, and then we have our value area high at 45,074. Okay, we'll just make it 75. Not average, value area high. Okay, and then we have our point of control here, right around in the middle of this value range, somewhere at 44,962. Okay, is our point of control. And then we'll go ahead and open up our settlement indicator here. I can locate it. Settlement price was or is 44,890. Okay, 44,890 is our settlement price, and then we have 44,854 is our value average session range low, and then we have the daily range is well below, is 44,656. Okay, that would be a logical low target potential for this current price action that we're seeing at the moment. Okay, daily range low. Okay, all right, Stumps. Good morning. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the markets, guys. Like I said, gold appears to be on a run. Okay, crude oil is continuing to do what crude oil is doing, and that's falling. And then we kind of have a little bit of a mixed bag in the equities, right? Nasdaq is showing a little bit of signs, maybe some bullish opportunities, but coming into an area of some resistance. Okay. And the same for ES. And then I would say of the weakest of the three is probably the Dow. Okay. I'm seeing evidence in the Dow that maybe we are going to see some further downside in this market. Okay. All right. So again, guys, we continue to kind of offer this on these sessions in a complimentary way to kind of encourage the support of the portal. Thank you, Keith, for your support of the portal. So we will go ahead and close off the session here, guys, and maybe we'll have a little abbreviated session here with my members on the markets. I do have a a a visit with Top Step TV today, because we are going to have our draft, I believe, of our VIPs today. So if you haven't already filled out whatever forms, you might want to be present for that. So I will be available for that here in about a little over 38 minutes, I guess. Okay. So I'm going to see maybe if I'm going to be offering my members here a glimpse here, because I'm seeing maybe might be some opportunities here that may be a little bit more aggressive than most to for some executions. Okay. So we'll offer that to my members. Okay. Maybe, possibly, Zunid. Okay. So yes, there will be a draft today. I don't know to what degree I will have any say as to who goes in and who doesn't go in, but yes, this draft today at 10 a.m. or between 10 a.m. and 10:15 a.m. today. So we will be in attendance for that. So with that, we'll close off this session here, guys, and wish you guys a very profitable day in trading. Okay. And as we close every market, as we close every session, okay, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay. All right, guys, have a good day.